Hi, I'm Sean, and you're watching Shopworx. On this episode here, we're going to get cracking on a few more things in the interior and see how far it gets me over the next week or so here. I'm going to have some cold days coming up. It's showing morning minus 43, feels like minus 53, minus 47. It's going to be cold anyway. So with temperatures like that, I'm just going to be hanging out in here working away. I'm going to have the wood stove going and hopefully get something done. Soldered on the end here for the oil pressure gauge. Had to extend it to get the wires long enough to go up that A-pillar. Do like I do on all these automotive splices here, solder and shrink or solder and tape. So good connection and don't want it shorting out. So, now the trick is this brown here is for the differential sensor, temperature sensor. The one by itself here. I'm going to put a little marking of tape on it so I know that it's not the illumination for the lights. And these ones here are using the colors of the low shift gauges. That's your hot, your accessory, your marker light, and your ground. So you're going to have to piggyback those around through everything. Some of that's going to go up to the switch here, the ground for sure, the lights for the backlight, all that kind of good stuff. So we'll get that all buffed up in here today and see what else we're gonna move on to. Well, I guess I'll snap these gauges in and then start working on these switches next. Ooh, that's not good. These things are gonna be loose. I'm gonna have to put pinch points on them and drop the whole thing. Well, got the time-consuming part done here wiring these in. This is not staying here, it's just a placeholder so the wires don't fall back inside. Problem with these blocks here I bought on eBay or Amazon or something instead of buying the Carling ones for a lot more than what I could get these for, like substantially more. These ones here, the pins don't snap in proper into them. It's like they give you the wrong pins and the piece goes in instead of out and it won't lock. So I had to use 2-part epoxy from the dollar store on it. I'm just going to snap this back in here now. Snap all these switches in. It's gonna have to come back out, wrong switch. This will be, like I say, a placeholder for this one after. That's supposed to be a momentary, not a on-off on. Guess I should have checked that first. Oh well, win some, you lose some. Get some more switches here. Got my wires put in. Make sure all these are out of the way here. I'm gonna make sure I snap that one in too, for the wait to start light. Where is it? There we are. Wait to start lights in. In. Screw the dash down. Had to go out and find some more screws because I couldn't remember where I put them over a year ago. So what I like doing with these switches too, if they're individuals like this, is I'll write on the side what they are. This one's driving lights, LED bar. So, now with all that, we can put a little bit of epoxy on there. Should be able to snap these things in. The LED light bar. That one's just running a relay, so that's why there's no big wires. It says rotary beacon on it, but it's for the strobes. And reverse lights. So I got that coming along here. Got some of the switches in. Gotta get my vents in here. The top one's more or less done up. Now to start piecing the rest in here. Well guys, it was fun to hide everything in here. I got the alarm tucked away in there. I got the GPS tracker and the mobilizer tucked away in there. Got it all wired up. Got the 3 fuse panels in here because I was running out of room in here. All wired up. The switch is all in and a bunch of extras. So figure before I pop the rest in here. This has been a couple days on here, so it's you know, fair bit to do and figure out, especially when you have nothing to really work off of originally. You can see the accessory fuse block in there, the other 2, and try to tuck everything in and route it up best a guy can. And still, once I put the switches and everything in here, they're going to snap in. Got them all sitting here ready to go. Just got to throw the cover on the column. And what I didn't realize, I'm probably going to have to chop out chunk off of here just for where the alarm, right here where the alarm system's sitting there. I have to notch a little bit. Might be a little too deep for it. But sits higher up than I thought, so we're just gonna play it by ear, pop it in, and see how she looks. Thing I do here with all these fuse blocks, I like to light up light. Makes it simple. You can peek underneath and look up there. You got something blown, and you see light under your dash. You know you got something going on. What I do with these other spots, as you can see here, I just got an insulated end over top. What I do is I'll put in some common fuses in those sizes. You know, what I've got a lot of in here, and then if something does blow, I can pull one out of there and get me home, or whatever the case may be, until I can get another fuse. So if you see, I got a couple ends there left, 1, 2, 3. This fuse block down here, I've got 3 going on there, 2 over here, and 1 spare wire pulled to the other side. So gives you, you know, a couple different sizes you can keep handy. Got the control panel up here mounted for the diesel heater. Hopefully that'll not be in the way. I was going to put it down here, then every time you pull it you got to take that out and you know, just to get at the fuses or whatever. So all the wires to the radio are done up and in. A couple extra cigarette lighters, the USB for the radio. Pretty much just the brake controller, and populate some fuses, but I don't want to do that till everything else is wired on, or I'll be doing it over and over once I get the batteries hooked. So we will keep at it. Oh, while I've been tearing into the wiring here, trying to button this steering column and dash and everything up, John's been working on changing out hinge pins. Ordered a bunch, and some were loose, some weren't. Just figured now was a good time to do them all and start from scratch, basically, supposedly. So yeah, starting to get a little more cleaned out, getting ready to hopefully throw some carpet in there. I got a seat to tear apart. I want to take the mechanism out of it and just keep going with it. You can see why I'm not using the seat. She's a beauty. The easiest way I found to change these is exactly how John's doing it here. Cut them apart. You can do it on the vehicle too. You just got to use a sawzall to get in there. Done that before with the door. Get this thing popped in here. Hopefully. Get a hit. Well, I was right. We're going to have to take a chunk of this back piece out of here. There she's back out. And notch out a chunk out of here. There we go. Everything else falls on me here. Put these all on. Nice thing is once these are in, I have enough play in the wires in here that we can go ahead and pull this off here, do the fuses. Couple charge ports. Well, the problem with some of these hinge kits, I don't know if you can focus in on them or not. We've got 2 different bushings in here. Now, we'll put them on the table so we don't do that again. 2 different bushings in here, as you can see. This one here is fatter, that one's got a taper on it. These ones here in this hinge pin kit that got off Amazon, these things aren't even fitting. So we're using these. And from another project, I got a assortment of hinge pin parts here. So I've been using the thicker ones out of here, which seem to be actually even thicker than those, but they look very similar to the ones that aren't working. So I'm gonna mic them later and see if I can order some more. And oddly enough, one hole in here seems tighter than the other as well. They stick out a little bit proud here, so you got to make sure you get them in. That was the tight one. This is fairly snug. So that one's ready to be repinned. The other thing we did is put some marks on there with Sharpie. Make sure we're getting them assembled the right way.
Caught me.
See, it works. You got the Sharpie mark and the Sharpie mark, and you don't have to play around with assembling them wrong. Nice thing about the Sharpie is a quick wipe with lacquer thinner at the end and it's all gone.
There should be. Put the
Snap ring on her and back to a nice tight hinge. So, just like that. So a lot of these here, you can see back in the other videos we had to put inserts in them to keep all metric thread on here. I believe that one was regular. It's the next one's back we had to do, didn't we?
I think it's good. Well, that's good.
Yeah, these ones here you can see they've been helicoiled.
I think these have two, sure.
These ones here for sure. This one. Well, trick with this radio here, what I do with a bunch of them when I install it, I ran some external antenna wires outside already. One's for the GPS. I like getting good GPS signal. This thing should snap on here in one direction. Just like that. Little adapter to your SMA. I'll tape that up after. And one for the 4G. I thought it was for the Wi-Fi originally, but I realized I didn't have that third antenna here. So I got three NMO mounts out there, one for the VHF radio, VHF, UHF, one for the 4G and one for the GPS for here. Just be using the little Wi-Fi antenna. Can always hotspot off my phone or whatever I got to do, I guess, to make it happen if I can't get the Wi-Fi. So after that, I'll be putting these onto the USB port that I put in below here, and the rest just snapping together, some RCAs, taping them up, and the power. Well, a little better cab shot here. Pretty much ready to clean up and get the last of the seat belts on here, get the last of the door hinges buffed up. When I did the floor there, still got to drill out. I pilot marked them with the drill bit originally. Wasn't sure whether I was going to tap them and thread it and put it in, but I think I'm just going to drill them out, put a nylock on the bottom, be done with it for the middle row there. John's got a bunch of the hinge pins in here, all buffed up, so light's a little better today here. See if this turns out better or not. I got the radio in, a lot of wires tucked in behind there with everything, so it's not in as far as I'd like to. Also, this Metra dash opening is very hard to fit with Chinese Android radios. I ended up having to file a whole bunch of plastic out and cut and back and forth with it, so it not quite what I was hoping for, but it is what it is. Sure, you can see a few little file marks and stuff on the very edge there, so had to file a little off that, a little off the sides of the deck head there. The switches are all in, looking pretty good. Got my tire pressure monitor plugged into a cigarette lighter, wired into accessories only. This one here is 12 volt hot all the time. USBs for the deck. All these other switches on the dash. Steering column's pretty much buttoned up. Everything up on the roof is looking pretty good at this point. Got my lights put in on the roof as well. So what we're going to do now is take the rest of the stuff out of here and give it a vacuum and start putting some vinyl in. get some seats put in and bolted down. Then a guy can do the back end over here. Got some rubber matting I want to do for the back, and the aluminum side panels there probably won't be part of this video, but something to, I guess, look forward to, hopefully. And yeah, once I get the seats in here, I can get the doors on. I just don't like fighting, doing work with the doors, opening and closing them. As it is, it's been a pain in the butt with the driver's door, but I needed to put the wiring harness in behind the cab out of it. And behind the dash, it runs over to this side here. So, got my lock and unlock relays bolted in over here as well for the alarm. It's got a 5-wire system in these old Fords, so you got to have that because they're both grounded all times. So you got to switch your ground open and then feed back your power to your lock or your unlock. So you're running normally open and normally closed on it. So anywho, that's where I'm at for this. Well, ready to fit this in now. We've got wires tie wrapped out of the way for the transfer case shifter here. And just going to have to set it up, figure out where we want to cut the holes for the wires come up. For the radio and again for the inverter here. And then the guy can start figuring out the seats, and we'll just keep working, layering it back, because I believe that's how it was set in here, the drivers and the crew cab, and then again the crew cab. Fortunately I don't have all the same color again still, so things are going to change on it after a while. But for now, using what I got. My way some more, but this stuff's in the way. Cut this out. Everything's changed a little bit because we added all the height in here as well as these wires. Okay, now do you have a stud sticking up through your hole over there? Perfect. So I don't even have to cut this out of this one. It's the next one. Oh, it's from just being rolled up. Let's see it. Get it good and hot in here once or twice. Oh, I'm not sure which is front, which is back. Lay it out. Oh, geez, I don't know. It'll be this way. You get the front seat, and then you got your seat bolts for the rear. I believe. Give it a flip. That's got to go under. You know it's been a while when. What I usually do is I put a slit in flooring and push my wires through it. Pull them all the way out, and I know what I got to work with. These will have to be all mounted in here before the seats finally get into position, just so we can bolt it down through the floor proper. This one's for the power inverter. Got the 2 wires for the inverter switch itself, and then hot in the ground for power. And then I've got the 120 volt feeds that I got to get through here as well. Should have made a slightly bigger hole. Lay flat under the seat here after. We'll do the radio next. Speaker wire before I forget it. Another speaker up in the console. And then do this, which is the antenna. Should be out in the engine compartment right now. Well, this I didn't put an end on it, which is nice. I run it through the hole and then put the end on it. Got the vinyl put in here, the best what I have and what I got to work with. So I'm going to be putting the fronts in here in a bit. Got the wires up for the radio and everything. Amplifier for future, if I ever go that way. I'll have to rip the floor back up. And vinyl's hard to find around here, so until I either step up and get something made by one of the other companies there and get it in black. I'm going to throw this blue in here for now. It's the 3rd row. Won't be used as much as the 2nd row, I think. Not even putting the 4th row in. I'm going to leave that out. Yeah, slowly coming along. Your way. We'll go there for now. Looks like we got room underneath there. We're doing a amp still and whatever else if I decide to go that way. Got lots of cable put at either side or wherever I deem fit. So I can get that buttoned down. The reason I want to go with these seats is you guys got the cup holders. These are out of my donor cab, the 97. Have an armrest, but probably won't be able to use that. Haven't found cheap seat covers for that. So that's one. This here's my second one. What I got to do here is I'm going to change this out so it can tip forward, because this is going to be the 3rd row. It's in worse shape than the 2nd row. Until I decide what I'm really doing, I'm going to just go with this for now. And this is part of the reason right here. Not sure what I want to do with it, but it's going to work for now. On these seats here, I'm going to have to clean this one still. But problem with retrofitting these Super Duty seats in is most of them are broke right out. Guys hop in the driver's side and push down on the armrest to scooch their butt over, and these all broke out down in here, and right over in here you can see as well. So what we're gonna do is put some aluminum reinforcing in there along with some glue in this back corner. I've tried using plastic epoxy and all that stuff. I got a couple other trucks with these done in them, and yeah, it sort of works for a little while. So you can see I got a piece 1/8 inch aluminum bent up and cut and popped in on the back side here already, and put back together. I'm just going to size a piece up for in here and then drill and pop it. And this thing can be gone through with the carpet cleaner, upholstery cleaner. Got a couple of seats in there. Had the wife come through and use the upholstery cleaner on them. And, got my pieces there I had when I masked off the truck originally, and keep the cats out. Now that I got some seats in there, don't want them getting hair all over them and clawing them or whatever they're going to do. Second row, third row. No row. And the ones for the front I got cleaned up a bit and worked on. We got it buffed up and get them in tomorrow. The fan going there, trying to dry everything off, and a little different for the cats as well. This radio put in before the seats come in. Put the seat in roughly just to mark out where it sits. Make sure we got no issues. I'm not strapping it to anything, I'm just trying to tidy it up so it sits nice by the radio here. Out of the way. Can be moved if I need to get the radio in or out. And that gives me something to attach everything else to here that runs up to the front as well. What I'm trying to do is keep everything out of the way so a guy can reach in the back and plug and unplug the power. Had a bad experience once with one of these radios where I didn't have everything wired up and the ground actually bypassed through the shell back down the ground wire. So I'm trying not to monkey with that anymore and plug it in at the end. Got the seat in, the seat belts, and not sure if you can drop it down through the TK shifter here. See the radio back in under there, lots of room, lots for heat dissipation, still get a stubby in to pull it. And now I got the inverter wires coming out just in front of the seat belt here for this one. The other mounts are there, right back in here I guess, and up front here. So we'll test fit this one a couple of times and get that inverter buttoned up in here, and then be off to the races. Got it in here, got these plugged in now. Ran the wire, bypassed the switch on there, ran the wire out the back, or out the front here, and I can unhook it now. These wires go, one goes to the plug-in right over here for 120 volt. I can access now just by turning on my inverter switch. Going down the road, want to charge a laptop, some kind of a cooler, whatever. And the second wire runs to the back where I'm going to be putting some 12 or 120 volt outlets way in the back there. Again, for anything I might want to charge, or you know, even a 500 watt inverter will still run a little mini fridge. So, time to clean up a little and toss the seat in. Well guys, got the seats in here, front row too. Had to do a little die grinding on it. Didn't realize that once I built the floor up with the Dynamat and the foam and everything, it'd throw off my spacing front to back, so had to die grind a bunch out on the back so it wasn't sucking all the way up. So not a big deal, but still something that had to be done. Got the back row in there, still got to put the caps on the covers there for the bar. I went and changed that out so I can pivot it forward now to get in the back. Middle rows in, that was the easiest one of the bunch. These are the Super Duty seats. Got the one fixed up there, we got them all bolted in. That's the way it worked out. Everything's all buried in behind now. Inverter's hidden, radio's hidden. I just got to tuck the wires up when I plug it in after. I'm going to be using the Husky liner, or the Husky liner mats here. One thing I did forget about here, I had to extend that shifter about 4 3/8 of an inch for the transfer case, so it went down and cleared it. That's just gonna dry clear after. I always seal them up so I don't get coffee spills and stuff in there and everything else. I also plug the screws with some other stuff. I'll put some paper towel or something down in there and then cap it with silicone. Then you're not fighting all your screw, out of your Phillips heads, or in my case I use Robbie's in here. You're not fighting all that crap out if you ever need to remove it again. See how much extra a guy had to add down in there. Well, with all the seats in, I'm going to say we're pretty much done with this video here. And going to be moving on to doors on the next one. Get the doors in, get the guts in the doors, and figure out how we're wiring the rest of the doors in here on the back row with the relays. And if everything else goes good, we'll get the tailgate on at the same time there. So we'll see. Tailgate might be a separate movie, not sure yet, but feels like actually getting somewhere now. So I guess I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I want to see this thing to the end. Like, subscribe, and follow along for the journey. Kind of hoping to be able to spark her up here in the next month or so. So be kind of nice. Take her for a cruise. Have a good one.